Poverty and inequality are at the highest levels since the Great Depression, and there's a growing desire in the social order to raise taxes on the wealthy so that the rest of us can have more opportunity. Well, I'd like to suggest that in addition, it would be economically beneficial to give society more opportunity by taxing churches and requiring them to invest in the greater community. Not all churches are rich, but some are very rich. This is because society subsidizes them through generous tax breaks. We are all paving the way for these special privileges. Amid the near social-wide acceptance of tax exemptions currently afforded by churches, the United States should recognize the economic and equality opportunities that tax exemption could provide. I believe that churches should no longer be tax exempt because of the many reasons I will share with you now. The Alliance Defending Freedom on its website says, as of 2017, that the social benefit theory of tax exemption recognizes that churches provide great benefits to society and through tangible and intangible ways provide good. For this reason, many think that churches should be tax exempt as a reward for this good. In addition, Listland makes the argument on their website, as of November 10th, 2017, that the constitutional system we have explicitly allows recognized religion to have no tax burden. Not only did a Supreme Court decision entitled Walt's First Tax Commission make sure that no law be made respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, separation of church and state has been a law since the establishment of America, and so have the absence of property taxes paid by churches. For this reason, many argue that this tradition should continue, and churches should not be afforded tax exemption because it consistently stays within the history and bounds of separation of church versus state. Lastly, others argue that there is no constitutional way to tax churches without taxing all nonprofits, such as debate.org, which says on their website as of 2017 that single out churches instead of all nonprofits would never make it past the Supreme Court. Although these things are true, there are many arguments against them, as I will share with you now. According to .org, churches do a lot of good, but oftentimes that good has strings attached. Religious employers or religious people in the community will help do good, but it'll also be conditional. For example, a church may help an organization, but also say that this organization should start coming to services or convert to said religion. Good is therefore not relative to all people, but relative to the church in which the eye of the beholder is. This reason wins over the social benefit argument that it does society good and therefore should be rewarded with tax exemptions. With all the perspectives and different religious views out there in today's society, our diverse U.S. landscape cannot afford to allow church exemptions any longer. For example, religious organizations can opt out of Social Security and Medicare withholding. Religious employers are exempt from unemployment taxes and in some states from sales tax. Also, religious ministers are allowed to say that their salary is a housing allowance and therefore pay no taxes. Property taxes and limits are typically not audited by the IRS. This is found on Forbes.com. Property taxes and any other issues with budgetary exemptions are not, sorry, IRS auditing is not a problem throughout churches because it specifically has reasons against it. For this reason, we don't know where the money that churches are not providing to the government is going. Just about the only restrictions that churches have to abide in is that they cannot endorse political candidates. But even so, the money that ministers and others accumulate over time by not paying taxes goes to religious and political candidates. The second argument is that in order to tax-exempt churches, many will not happen because they will have to tax all nonprofits. Well, this can be argued by the umbrella of religion theory, which says that religion can be specified as a corporation rather than a nonprofit, and therefore, because of that, be able to be taxed in that loophole. The third point is that the Founding Fathers established this country a long time ago, when many churches and social order was at one with common reality. But ever since many social justice organizations have grown stronger in society, a lot of people have disagreed with church understanding. For this reason, it is important to understand that it would be beneficial to tax-exempt churches. In conclusion, it is very important to exempt churches from tax exemption as of the 3 reasons I told you today. We would all be a better place if we could all think of ourselves as equal, including those who do not go to church and are not religious, and those who do go to church and are religious. Nonprofits are helpful for reasons that are not similar to churches and can be differentiated. In addition, it's important that the money goes to people who are doing overall good and not just particular good. Lastly, providing basic services is important, but it should always be understood that there is a constitutional way to see equal and right order to churches. Thank you.